every mile gets a little bit slower, or you start going through a long run and you're like, oh my God, this just needs to end, and you feel like you're scuffing and not picking your feet up, and then your paces just start to drift upward. You get slower and slower every mile. I'm going to teach you a little strategy to help with that, because truth is you do have some control over your pacing, and this is what this video is all about. Hi everyone, my name is Steve Gonzer, physical therapist with Run Smart, and we're getting ready to kick off Need for Speed, which is the price is either going up or starting soon, depending on when you watch this. But if you're a runner who struggles finishing races strong, if you struggle shuffling, picking up your feet, you're really struggling with your run form, be sure to check out the link in this post, or just go to openmystride.com to check out Need for Speed. Hi Joanne, and what I'm going to do today is I'm bouncing around between PT clinics for Buffalo Rehab Group. I'm going to jump into the room here. I want to talk to you guys through this, because I think we all know, like, there's excitement of race day, and when you go into a race, like, there's something special about race day, right? Like, you can't ever replicate what you feel on race day and how easy it is at the start. But the trouble is, a lot of people get stuck and they go way too fast too soon, they blow up. But what I want to do is I want to talk about a strategy that you can use when you do what you're supposed to do, because if you have a crappy race strategy and you just go out way too hard, there's nothing that's going to fix that. But for the runners who are like diligent, they're smart in their running, they're not going out too hard, it's still going to start sucking at some point, right? You get to that point where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, I just want to be done, why am I out here, I'm never doing this again. But there's things that you can do, and that's what we're going to talk about, that you can improve that experience. And I like this a lot because it'll actually shift your mind away from, I don't want to do this anymore, the negative thoughts, and you're going to start shifting towards a period of, okay, I'm thinking about something else, is going by a little bit quicker. So let me just show the whiteboard here for you. So traditionally what we see with runners is that this is going to be a really bad green line, but when you start running, traditionally what we like to see is paces will drift upwards over time. But what we don't want to see, so this is the start of the race, this is the finish of the race over here, and this is your pace. So the pace is going to go up over time. What we don't want to see is that you start off way too fast, then you reel it in, and then you have this huge banana or hockey stick moment where you just end up doing a lot of walk running, you start slowing down a lot. So how can you avoid that? You avoid this by not being irresponsible early on. But what we don't want to see also is when you are responsible is we want to minimize how much slower we get as the race goes on. So traditionally what I'll tell my runners is that when you get to the point, and this is what we focus on in Need for Speed, how do you run consistently mile after mile, even out those paces? How do you run faster when you're tired? It's exactly what we do in Need for Speed, and it's by changing your run form. So I'm going to talk you through a little bit of strategy here. There comes a point in your run where you're going to be like, I think this is starting to feel hard. So early on in the race, great, you're ticking through miles, everything feels great, and then you're going to get to a point where it's like, oh, this is starting to feel hard. And that's the critical point that we teach in Need for Speed, where you're going to start learning or start implementing changes in your form. So traditionally what we'll see is, instead of having this bigger hockey stick where you start to fall off, you're going to actually start to see this happen, where you'll trail and you'll either get a little bit slower, you'll hold pace, or you can actually, if you do really well, you'll actually start to speed up towards the end. So what does that mean? Is that when you start to feel like, oh my God, this is starting to, I think this is not, oh my God, this is like when you're like, this is starting to feel hard now, you're going to start learning to drive your knee. You're going to start learning to run from your glutes and your hips. And what that's going to do is it's going to open your stride. So all you're going to think about is getting that knee to lead out in front, drive forward from the hips and the knees, and it'll start to pick up your pace. It'll actually open your stride up, because tendency for most runners is to curl up into a ball, start shuffling and scuffing more. But you want to do the opposite. You want to start opening that stride up, and it pays off huge, because like, you can legitimately have complete pace control as you get tired, and you do it by learning how to drive your knee, and not going out too fast, but also tweaking your run form. And the cool thing about this, guys, is if you can work on learning how to drive your knee, you can actually get faster and have even splits without having to train longer miles, add more to your schedule, do a bunch of extra. You can actually do it while you run. So if you struggle, or if you want to just run faster, if you want to finish races stronger, if you want to get faster, particularly without having to train harder or do more, check out the link in the post. Go to openmystride.com, and you can get control of your pacing, so you don't do the banana or the hockey stick moment. You can actually slow a little bit less, maintain a nice even split, or even get faster. And this stuff works. Like, we have a ton of runners that have gone through this program. I use this myself, and I always have a little bit of a tail at the end, but I always hold on pretty strong. It's still hard. Make no mistake. Your pacing is still going to be hard, but this certainly helps. Check out Need for Speed before we get started. Price is either going up soon or the program's closing, depending on when you watch this. So, all right, guys, have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.